Ballad of the Lonely Sock.
The Lonely Sock? I mean, I woke up at 3 a.m. with thunder and lightning.
By tonight in your inbox. If not, you get to hit me in the face.
Let's get started. Let's talk about today's agenda.
Okay, so Aaron is online, and I've asked him to record random materials and staple them together to publish on our website. Is that all right with you, Aaron?
Yeah, that's all right.
Okay, fantastic. So yeah, no, it doesn't have to make sense. You just have to figure out how to glue it together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, agenda. Today we're going to do publication plan. Dr. Molina is going to start talking about his. And Flavia, I think you're ready. And the rest of the folks, whoever is ready, we can go by turn to share our publication plans. And we'll do a class review. The review is about all the lectures that we had so far. And since we did it in a very fast pace, and in order to digest and make sure we can everything, and also we can exchange ideas and just to share the insights we see, how they are helpful, and whether we can apply any of the things. And that's the purpose of doing the review. And also, these theories are really important for us to do experimental publishing. We'll make sure all these courses are really helpful, and those are theories to begin with. And next session is going to be applications, more contemporary and using what we had before and tied into what is happening today in the technology and other world, especially AI related applications. So this is a good connection. And then we do midterm deliverable working session that we just did. A few of us did like 20 minutes, but we're going to do it again after the break, a few minutes to recap and discuss, separate into pairs, groups to do a group discussion, and then we come back to the class to talk about it and to decide what we deliver in midterm, and everybody needs to have the approval with Dr. Molina, come into consensus. And after the spring break or before the spring break, we're going to do a presentation. That's the for midterm. And after the midterm, we're going to drive to the case studies and using the real world scenario cases and apply to what we learned and continue on with our deliverable. You can do a really a consistent one from midterm to the end, or to do 2 new ones. It's up to your plan. So we're going to discuss that.
Especially it needs to feed into your graduate degree work. So, just change its direction so that it's something you can use in your diploma.
Thank you. And ours electronic open course, good news is that we have one more week, and the whole team, Flavia did a wonderful job, and we're going to in the second session we're going to show everybody what we have so far and get feedback from everybody, and hopefully we'll.
But their submission to a competition is a form of publication. So it's a very different audience. It's the jury of your, well, not your peers, your superiors, a jury of experts. And so publishing for that audience is an interesting challenge.
Yeah, it is.
And normally they don't announce the members of the jury ahead of time. You'd have to look at their website, because then you can mention the name of the juror in your proposal, and that will impress them.
Dr. Molina has been in the jury.
Yeah, I was on the jury for about 10 years.
Yeah, he was so familiar, very popular art festival in Europe.
And yeah, it's in Austria.
Austria. Okay, that's the agenda for today. And Dr. Molina, do you want to start?
Sure.
Application plan.
Fred the Heretic software generating large amounts of text. We propose to disseminate the material in a variety of ways. Number one, Ryan Chastain and I propose to co-author an ebook, texts generated by Fred the Heretic, and publish it on Amazon for sale. We have done this successfully. Roger has done this successfully in the past with Leonardo ebooks, where we stapled together 100 Leonardo articles, uploaded them in ebook format on Amazon, sold it for $8, sold 100 copies, and earned $800.
Cool.
Well, Amazon does take a commission. No, but seriously, and one of the nice things about publishing in ebooks on Amazon is you can publish it, and then 3 months later, you can take it down and put a new version up with the same name. And someone who bought the first version gets the second version free. Someone who didn't buy the first version buys the second version. And so it's kind of iterative income. And so we could do this. Who's planning to apply to graduate school? We could do this for a couple of years, and every 4 months update the book. The co-authors would be Ryan Chastain and Roger Molina. Contributions would be obtained from Fred the Heretic's database of previously generated texts. So we need to come up with a intellectual structure of subsections of the book. So it could be, and my idea is we don't want to know who was the person who did the prompt to Fred the Heretic. We just know what Fred the Heretic wrote about, and you can maybe guess who the person was that's writing about. Ryan and I would write an introduction to the book and maybe a postscript at the end of the book. As part of this publishing plan, Ryan Chastain is setting up on our Off Center for Emergence Studies website an automatic FTH poetry generator that generates a new poem every morning through content flow UX UI designed by Ryan. So the idea is the Heretic would generate a poem every morning, and then when you wake up, you can read the poem of the morning. And the data that went into the Fred of the Heretic would be something. It could be the latest news, boring. It could be who in the seminar got married this week. No, I'm already married. I don't want to get you're married already. Who got unmarried this week? Okay, so for me, this is a very focused publication plan. I plan to do this semester with Ryan. As you submit things to Fred the Heretic, we will prioritize any poems that Fred the Heretic has written from your inputs. So we will ask you for contributions to the book. You put your name on it or leave it off it. And you can get a percentage of the royalties when we sell the book.
My idea with it is whatever profit we make, we put into a scholarship in Fred Turner's name, and then one time a year we give a scholarship to a student.
Okay. Income would be used to fund a Fred Turner scholarship, right?
Yes.
And I have bad news.
Is there already one?
No. I'm working with a colleague who is the director of research at the School of Art and Design in Paris, France, and someone who works in the AI division of the French Minister of Culture. And we're setting up a PhD program in France where it's a human and an AI doing the PhD. I think I mentioned it before, but we are going ahead with it. So the fellowship for the Fred Turner Scholarship could be given to the AI
Oh my God.
to the human who's using the AI to get a PhD.
Looks like Melina's trying to make some headlines.
Well, no, but I mean, the anxiety is, a lot of doing a PhD or a MFA is you have to do a literature review. You're supposed to read 300 books, summarize them, what are the subtopics and all that. Well, now you can do that with AI in 3 weeks. Why should a human read those books? And so the anxiety is that now, once you do the literature review in your MFA or PhD, you're supposed to do something original. For the MFA, it's performance or artwork. For the PhD, it's scholarship, publications. And so the idea would be maybe AI could be good at doing those things too. So who needs to give PhDs to humans? Or MFAs to humans 50 years from now? Okay, that's the end of my publishing plan. I know it sounds a little bit jokey, but for some reason, I think it's a good idea. So,
I like it.
what?
I said, I like it.
Yeah, no, but you've got to get this AI poetry automatic generator going.
Yes.
But then, I think the interesting part of it is
It's all
what would you feed into it every night automatically? So then you read the poem and I don't want NPR news in poetic form. But it makes you think. What should a poet write about during the night? Waiting for the human to wake up. Okay, whose publishing plan comes next?
Would you mind?
Flavia has a lobby share. I have a lot, but I share. Okay.
No,
you stumble onto something.
I think so too.
Can I show you?
You can go ahead. So I tend, no, this was already here. So here, I decided to create clues for 7 questions for each episode. So it's gonna be easier to create my script for the episode. So I plan to talk with the guests about the history of the guest, who he is, what he's doing, that we can pay attention and learn more. History and definitions of the subjects or technologies that the professional is in contact. What challenge in the process, like economically bias or examples that he or she can provide about it. Artificial intelligence as a tool for creative process, because I have to understand if the guest likes artificial intelligence or not. But anyway, this can be a tool or this is a problem. So originality and ethical issues, this subject, I think that's gonna happen a lot. New names, new process, what's happening now.
Speakers.
How to look for the future and what can we expect about this technology. And I'm trying to work in my list of guests, but I have some clues, including Belinda. And the production process is develop introduction and questions, send it to the guest, to record the questions, and edit everything. And I'm just thinking like, record this to me and send it to me, and I will edit it, put it together instead to meet like schedule a meeting and do everything in a complicated way. Just thinking about to ask the guest to record himself.
How long will the podcast be?
What?
How long will the published podcast?
Oh, the plan is to be like 10 for 15 minutes. And I create the guides for the guests, like an email with the recording guidelines and some simple tips to improve audio quality. And for example, the time is here, like the entire episode should be between 10 and 15 minutes length, and everything for the guest record it's himself the episode instead of depend of me. And the lead questions for the guest and some episodes that I already worked. The first one with Mark America, I have to ask you to put me in contact with him. With him, I will ask you. So those are the main questions. Episode number 2 with Professor Andrew Scott. I will meet him day after tomorrow, probably, or Friday. I don't know yet. And the third episode with Belinda that I already made. I think that is the most developed episode that
It's already recorded.
No, but I run a test. And
Without Belinda.
without Belinda, because I was curious if the artificial intelligence was able to recreate a Ghana voice for a female and everything that I put on the prompt, and I bring the episode. But wasn't with Belinda. I just simulate the conversation to see if the artificial intelligence was able to do this. This was my point. But the whole episode is here. There's an introduction and the questions for Belinda. And of course, you don't have to answer everything, but it's here. And the episode that I simulated, I think that is better. So here is this transcript.
Turn the volume up.
Well, it's been shaped by privilege, by education, by, who has the resources to create. But now we have AI entering the picture, and that raises a big question. Can AI actually be a tool for empowerment? Can it amplify voices?
Fake Belinda.
Break
Fake
down
me.
Oh, thank you.
barriers,
Yes.
and I guess redefine who gets to create? Or does it just repeat the same inequalities that have always existed in the art world? Welcome to Creativity and Transformation, the podcast where we explore the ever-evolving relationship between human imagination and machine intelligence. I'm Flavia Souza, and today we're diving into artificial intelligence and empowerment. And I am so excited to have Belinda Amarte here with me. Belinda is my friend, a PhD student, and just honestly, one of the most insightful people when it comes to technology and feminist theory. She's doing some really fascinating research on how technology can open up new creative spaces, especially for women and marginalized communities. So today we're going to talk about AI's role in all this. Is it making creative tools more accessible? Is it actually giving more people voice, or is it just, another tool that benefits the same people who already have power? All right, let's get into it. Hi, Belinda.
Hi, everyone. It's nice to meet you.
So Belinda, okay, so historically marginalized communities have faced so many barriers when it comes to accessing artistic spaces, tech spaces, all of it. And AI, people talk about it as this great democratizing force, right? Oh, now anyone can create, but does it actually level the playing field, or does it just, reinforce the same hierarchies? What do you think?
Yeah, that's a really interesting question because, yes, AI can open doors, right? It can make tools more accessible. It can take away some of the gatekeeping that happens in traditional art spaces. So in that sense, yeah, women, underrepresented artists, they can experiment in ways they maybe couldn't before. But, and this is a big but, AI isn't neutral. Like, it's just not. It reflects the biases of, the data is trained on the people who design it. So if we're not careful, it could actually just repeat the same patterns we've been trying to break for like decades. I think the real challenge is, how do we make sure AI actually works for us? Like, how do we shape it so it's empowering instead of just reinforcing the same old power structures?
Right.
Okay,
This makes me think about.
okay. So, I have a proposal.
God, that's really cool.
No, it sounds
I
like,
didn't even record Belinda's thought.
I doubt though, because any African listening to it would say one, it's either a Nigerian,
Oh, okay,
a
okay.
Malawian, or a Kenyan because of the accent.
okay,
Okay, good to know.
so I have a proposal.
But it's good.
Yeah.
Cooper is here. Can we practice your podcast with you asking Belinda a question? And he will record both of you for one question.
Yeah, I think so, but I have the questions. I don't know if Belinda have the answers.
What? Thing. Go ahead.
Okay, Belinda, so we just hear the podcast recording and I tried to simulate a voice that came for a female to Ghana. And what do you think about it? What do you, what's your considerations about the simulation of the audio?
So if this is about the voice, I think yes, AI is doing amazing. And I don't know if we should say it's being creative because creativity can be kind of associated with AI. But considering the fact that it gets to pick on the accents of these Africans, but the question is, how do they feed them the data? Because for it to have all these accents means somebody is putting in the data. So those doing the job are kind of doing a good job because that's something I can forget.
Yeah, I agree. I feel that somehow there's a little representation, even though we have to improve. And this is kind of, I don't know, like a demonstration that the bias problem that we always talk about in the artificial intelligence is something that is on the way to be like more democratic and give voices for people that doesn't have it today. What do you think?
I totally get that. If you say, for instance, are you still doing voice simulation thing or are you talking about
No,
AI in general?
AI in general, like how this could be, how AI can be more democratic and be a tool of empowerment for a lot of people.
I think so. It's basically can start from scratch education and creating awareness because now it's all about the planes, artificial intelligence, but who knows about it and who is making it known? So if people are aware of something like this and they are being taught how to use it and they are being taught how to feed data to this AI, and that means that people get to access it. But if just the few people who have been doing it as usual still feed the AI data, it means that we'll still have the same issue going on and it will not be accessible to everybody. Even if you access it, you are limited in a way because you do not have the power to feed it the information. Any information you feed it is also more like training the data for them, more
Okay.
like material form of data.
Thank you, Belinda. Now Flavia is going to ask Tina Ken a question, and she's going to be interviewed replying to you.
Okay, Tina, I'm sorry, I didn't prepare this interview. That's why I was like, wish
But how do you think that artificial intelligence is improving the way that companies is dealing with the economical marketing? What do you think that the financial issues can be solved by artificial intelligence? How this can be a powerful tool in the economic field?
That's a wonderful question. In the financial world, I think the artificial intelligence can be applied in many ways, especially in data analysis and data collection, data review. For example, for the loan application, usually human may take a long time to review credit card review and get the scores and get also income information. All these reviews are really tremendously time consuming. And if you use artificial intelligence assistance, it can be very efficient. This is one example. And this information digestion analysis, the repetitive works and can be replaced. I mean, human have errors in the artificial intelligence can do a lot of work that human cannot do because of the large amount of information. So I think from that end is also a very good tool for the financial company to use.
Okay, thank you, Tina. Belinda. Flavia is now going to ask Dante a question.
Okay. Dante, so some people use artificial intelligence for learn how to cook and read some recipes. But my question is, do you think that artificial intelligence can improve the creativity in cooking? Or will help to maintain like the same patterns for the recipes that will be recreated in a very specific way, creating like a lack of personalization for the food? And how can we use this as a tool for improve our taste? Because we see a lot of things in images and sound, but taste or smell is not something that is really explored.
I think it really depends on how AI is used. So it is more of a discussion less on how AI is applied to simply just cooking, but how it's applied to like the world as a whole. I've seen many people use it in a way that stifles creativity because you're taking everything that AI says at face value as your own thoughts, when instead it's used as a tool and as like something to brainstorm or to think of ideas. I definitely think it can improve creativity. The fact of the matter is, if you're copying everything that it says to a T, right, you're not thinking, you're not using your brain. But if you do use it in a way saying like, essentially as an encyclopedia going, hey, I want to cook this dish, but I don't have this ingredient. What are some substitutions? Maybe some of them will be wrong, but it'll be giving you a lot more options than you'd probably be able to find by yourself. So I think it really does depend on how AI is utilized by the user itself. But I think in an optimal setting, yeah, it can improve a lot of creativity. I don't think it would homogenize the world of cooking. If anything, it makes it more accessible.
Okay,
yeah.
thank you, Dante. Cooper, would you like to answer a question that Flavia is going to ask you?
As well.
Flavia, go ahead. Ask Cooper a question.
Oh my God, I have to create a lot of questions today. Cooper, so I know that you work with audiovisual products and develop that. What are the tools that you saw those days that really work for create a video that can be like something that you can use for your brand, for your for the company that you working with, like to show products and service and things like that? What are the tools that you have seen that is good to mention here?
Well, just in terms of general tools, the Adobe Suite alone is definitely very useful for all of branding, creation,
And Adobe have increased a lot of artificial intelligence.
Yes. Yes, indeed, especially in Photoshop and Illustrator. You can do all kinds of new generative fills and reimagination with certain AI aspects in those Adobe products. So
What negative aspects of AI have you discovered?
I've seen treading of the lines to where AI is being used as a means of creation and not as a means of tool. So as opposed to being useful to help create, rather pull together the imagination that the creator has, it is instead creating something all on its own, using some loose ideas that the creator has. And it doesn't make for actual good creation. And it doesn't make for products that you can actually logically sell.
Okay, Ryan,
Yes.
will you come over here, please?
Totally agree with that. The point, I think it's like the same thing.
So Flavia, what question do you want to ask Ryan?
So Ryan, artificial intelligence have changing a lot of ways that we dealing with a lot of media. But if you think about interactions, this is something that's supposed to be natural. And if the interaction start to be complicated, probably the user is not going to feel interested to deal with the problem. How artificial intelligence can improve the process, like creating new ways and smart ways or more simple ways to create interactions in different medias. For example, here we are in a podcast. Can artificial intelligence improve the way that the user will interact with things that we don't use to interact a lot, as for example, sound?
No, it can create a different type of accessibility, where certain factors for web pages or for podcasts in a traditional method might not be readily available. AI can come up with new ways to, whether if it's making a text appear if you hover over an image, or make it light up. AI can come up with a lot of different aspects whenever it comes to media, which is what I'm assuming that we're asking.
Yes, and sometimes you have to generate codes for develop interaction.
Yes.
Can you tell us a tool that you know that is good for this kind of development?
Yeah, of course. HTML code, especially, and CSS code as well. It really does help because it takes away the human error of potentially missing a semicolon, and or as well as just generating new code that we haven't thought of before, that we can then apply to web pages or to apply to podcasts in the way how they're kind of.
Thank you, Ryan. Okay, Roger, will you please answer Flavia's question?
So, Dr. Malina, thank you so much for your presence here today.
I'm not a useful doctor. I have a doctorate in astrophysics. I don't help anybody.
Multiple doctors.
A doctorate in art too.
So, Professor Roger, how we can think about the artificial intelligence in academic field? Because sometimes it looks like the students just using those tools to make a shortcut to the goals that the courses propose. But in the same way, they can give you more information and can put a lot of things together to create new possibilities. So how students and professors and teachers have to look for artificial intelligence today to improve education?
Okay, I'm not going to answer your question because it's a stupid question. The
Sorry.
the question I'm going to answer is, do different cultures define intelligence differently? So in Ghana and France and China, do they define intelligence the same way? There is now a huge AI industry in Nigeria, but they define intelligence differently. So we need to ask AI from different cultures the same question, and we'll get different answers. And that gets into a broad thing that we don't want a monoculture on this planet. We want a diversity of cultures and ways of being intelligent. And so I think we oversimplify the concept of AI with the Turing test. No. And I actually got into a discussion about this 30 years ago when I was living in Marseille in France. And I had a lot of interactions with people from North Africa. And as you know, we're now just beginning Ramadan. Is that intelligent? Well, yes, it's intelligent to fast for a while so that your mind thinks more clearly. So Ramadan is a way to clear your mind. People in France never do Ramadan. They do Easter egg hunts. So no, seriously, I think we are imposing on the concept of AI a monoculture. And so I think what we need to do is you should learn to use, I think there's now Brazilian AI companies too that are generating their own AI. And it's not just a linguistic thing. It's just how do you go about defining intelligence in different cultures? Okay, Flavia, what question are you going to ask the AI?
Oh, no.
Are you hungry?
She's tired.
Ask me.
Yes, I'm very.
Okay.
tired.
Okay, ChatGPT, are you hungry? Right there. Okay, read it out aloud.
I don't get hungry, but if I could eat, I'd probably go for something delicious, maybe a burger or some sushi. What about you? Feeling hungry for anything in particular?
Are you interested in the sounds made by food, different foods cooking? Go ahead.
Yeah. The sounds of cooking are pretty fascinating, like the sizzle of bacon, the pop of popcorn, or the crackle of a fresh baguette being torn apart. Each sound tells a little story about what's happening to the food. Do you have a favorite cooking sound?
I think this is like straight bias, if you ask me, because this is purely American.
Very American, yeah.
So this boils down to your question of what is intelligence again, because it could be Asian asking the question, but this is AI talking about beggar and
Bacon and
beggar,
baguette.
So these are some of the biases.
Okay, who's
Unless
next?
they know the person.
Who's next with their publication plan? Dante.
Yeah, I'm checking.
What?
Yeah, we got interested.
You what?
ChatGPT.
Okay, no, it's based off of the same GPT model because it mentioned bacon, steak, grill, soup. It did mention soup, but it's still very Western.
Let's see another not Chinese version of AI that I don't have personal preference or emotions, so I can express my like or dislike of cooking sounds. Cooking sounds are part of daily life, and different people may have different feelings about them. Some people may find them soothing and relaxing, while the others may find them distracting and annoying.
Okay. I still,
Thank you.
my plan's pretty short because most of it is just about recording to the sounds. But I've narrowed it down fully to the sounds of cooking. So I record myself while cooking various dishes, edit the footage together, and create 5 to 10 minute auditory experiences. The main focus of this is to play on the importance of sound in cooking. Specifically, how accurately can one guess what's being made just by the sounds that are captured? And I guess I have the first one that I just finished putting together.
Okay, so Ryan,
Oh,
you're gonna publish now any explanation.
sounds good to me.
So you send them the sound.
Yeah.
Listen, I
The
love.
best part is the
Oh,
dog.
also, so yes, I would love it if everybody could please, whether it's complete or not, like, because obviously, it's not gonna be fully complete. But, give me something to publish on the OC4ES website. I'll add a different unique twist to it and I'll run it by y'all prior to publishing it. So if you don't like the methodology that I'm gonna publish it, feel free to interject and give me advice on how to publish it differently. But it will be on the OCES website. It'll be under experimental publication. It'll be a new tab created. I just need to have stuff to put into it prior to me launching it. So please, Dante, submit me it. And then I would love to have it either your podcast or anything in particular. And Belinda, I would love to have also whatever you have as well. Currently.
Okay.
Okay, so he will bully you until he gets. something to
I
publish.
swear I will. I swear I will. I had all emails.
Okay, so who's next, Tina?
No, I was curious first, the thoughts about what was being cooked or the different elements.
You have onion.
Yes.
I feel like the garlic one had something like like this lettuce or cabbage thing because it was peeling
So
something.
the
It
first one was onion.
was onion?
Yeah.
Okay.
That peeling sound is the peeling of the outer shell
Okay.
because it's like sometimes more kind of stuck to it.
You see, I was gonna say you were
Just,
peeling garlic for the first sound almost.
The first one was onion, the second was garlic.
Yep.
There were 2 other vegetable cutting sounds. And then
Okay, so
Carrot,
I'm
yes.
gonna challenge you. Can you pull up ChatGPT again?
sure.
So the only reason why I said that it might be able to listen to sound is because if the program is smart enough, it'll take data points from videos, like cooking videos. It'll gather them all together and
It might be the advanced one though that maybe,
yes, like
because I know the advanced one does talking and stuff.
I think maybe DeepSeek can do it. To where it like gathers the sound, it analyzes it, and then I'm sure it could tell you exactly what it's happening. If ChatGPT does it, that's scary.
I know.
What foods it, well,
I highly doubt ChatGPT won't be able to do it. If it does though, that's scary.
Can, apparently.
If I say something, if I say something is wrong,
Oh,
yeah.
oh, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
It's until I'll try another method and it's like keep saying that.
Have you tried these before?
Yeah.
Okay.
I use ChatGPT for an audio production.
It's analyzing like frequency. Assuming a spectrogram. Was going to.
Be able to.
It's not, it doesn't have the soul.
frequency is beyond human hearing.
It doesn't have the soul.
Crispy.
Okay, it did say onion, garlic.
It did?
It did.
At the very end.
The first 2 things was onion and garlic. Did you not?
Yeah.
Did you not see that? You saw it, right?
Onions, well, because it says things that you often fry. Oh, that's pretty cool.
But it picked onion and garlic?
It did.
It-
Well,
It's
did it
not,
say
it's not
here's
saying emphatically.
oil? It just says, here's oil and butter that you're frying, and the most common thing to fry
I
are.
don't know. That's kind of
Considering the
weird.
frequency, it could be.
I get it, they've got sauteed dish. Sure.
That was.
Anyway,
Okay,
That's good.
so I-
Oh, carrots, celery.
Yes.
So
Squat.
it's being way too generic though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay, so before we move on, I'd like to ask it a different question. Give me a list of sound recording of different cooks being cut or cooked. Give me a list of sound recordings of different kinds of food being. I can't provide sound recordings. Oh, you're ignorant.
means ASMR.
Audio, sensory, something, whatever. I don't know.
Oh my God, so you have 600 links to existing recordings of food.
These are all like, I think similar. No, but it's also very fetishized.
No, that's.
So the ASMR thing is like normally this audio sensory stimulation thing. It can be like calming meditation.
Okay, so whose publishing plan is next?
I know what it is, I just don't know what it means.
You want to
Right.
them?
Yeah, I don't know what it stands for.
So I can actually talk through mine because mine's been, I didn't actually put it down, but I didn't talk through it. So since mine is more of trying to
Yeah.
get as a real fact or answers to most of the questions I'll try to ask in my dissertation or qualifying exam thing. I'm trying to find like real people to answer the question. But the only challenge was they didn't want their voice to be heard, like just what we did, Flavia did, trying to use AI to kind of imitate my voice or something like that. Yes, that was good. Probably I should do that because they kind of feel like, what if people know my voice and then I do this interview and then they hear it online? They're going to be like, oh, this is Flavia speaking. So she is like, this is what she thinks. And then it might kind of feel like people might judge her or something like that. So most of them are actually concerned about confidentiality issues. And so I was trying to find an AI software to read the transcript and then get it done like what she did. So now that's the only challenge. I guess I have a solution now, so it's okay.
Okay, sure.
I will show probably, I don't know if we have time, another video that I made today. And I use a different technology and I can share.
Okay, you want to show it?
Yeah.
What? The video right now? No, the video is about arts electronica. So no. Let's
Okay,
keep focused.
Ryan.
Well, I'm sure y'all know my publication
You're
plan.
going to share your publication plan?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
So-
Is it in the folder? No, it's all in mine.
no, no,
Okay.
no, I have documentation. I just, I've explained it a lot, lot of things. So essentially my publication plan is, for the OC4ES website. I'm taking a subpage out of it. It's the website for the ArtSci Lab essentially. And I am going to do two things. Publish y'all's work here in the class, as well as create Fred the Heretic, which is Fred Turner. We had him as the presenter for the first time, and then we had him for our dinner. I'm going to create an automatic AI software that essentially does a poem every single day. So at 12 o'clock exactly, a new poem will then load on the OC4ES website. And from then on out, again, it'll be about either, like Roger said, about news articles, which is no one really wants to know about that right now. Or more specifically, things that Fred Turner has done in his work already. So anything for emergence or biology or anything like that. So that's essentially my publication plan, which is why I need y'all's publication.
You need content.
Yeah,
And he's doing this for his capstone project, so
I'm-
he will bully you to do it.
yes, I will. I will indeed. The main thing is I'm not gonna publish it how y'all would publish it. I'm publishing it a little bit differently. So let's say you publish yours on the podcast. I get with you and I kind of discuss a different way how I could publish it on the website while still keeping it in like original form. Whether if it's formatting or whether if it is instead of YouTube, it's on Vimeo or something like that. So that's my publication plan.
Okay, good.
Ryan, I have a question.
Yes.
When you publish this, do you have a page like in class publication? Do you need help or you're going to design that page?
No, I'm ready.
Okay, so we're going to do a sub-page under teaching.
Under, I'm on it right now. It's going to be publications. Oh, let's see.
No, you're going to go under teaching.
Teaching? Oh, yeah, perfect.
Yeah, teaching.
Oh, yes, because teaching, it has ATCM, perfect, yes.
Exactly.
it'll be
So
done
you're
that.
gonna have a sub-page.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let the web page, developers know. If you could join us, at the 11 o'clock.
At 11 on Thursday?
Yeah,
I'll see that.
that'd be great.
I'll do that.
Thank you. And for the, Fred the Heretic.
That's gonna be under, that should be under research or publications.
There is also a page for.
Yes, it is. So
ATCH. For that one, are you gonna do an incremental or you're gonna just one that replace every day?
no, I preferably wouldn't like to be the one who has to do do it. So we're gonna try to automate it.
Right.
I'm already I've already talked with some people about getting an API
Uh-huh.
so that we can just integrate it into the website.
Yeah.
That might take a week because it's gonna have to get approved by UTD,
Mhm.
but they already have something kind of similar for one of their other websites for like an AI like chatbot, so it'll be just fine.
I understand. You use an API and I need to insert, and then you accumulate all these points.
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
so it'll be fed off of the for the Heretic AI.
Right. Okay, good. Thank you. That's
Okay,
all my
so
question.
Cooper, can you stay a little bit longer so we can have the Sigma the Oz Electronica presentation? Yep. Okay.
Oh, that's great. Thank you. Do we want to do a bio break or do we want to continue?
No, let's continue.
Continue on? Okay, whoever needs
We
to.
can go to the bathroom if we need to.
Okay. Then in that case, probably, Cooper, to use his same time, probably will go ahead with the electronica.
Okay.
If you can. Thank you. Let's do that.
Have to access the box folder. Oh, it's in your project, right?
Yeah, this is the data uploaded to the front.
Oh,
No, oh no, it's here. Let's go to this folder. Go to first one, second one. And go to conference papers. Yeah, that's not a problem.
So, we have to stand for this, there's a lot of things to send, but I made the video and there's a lot of things to adjust because our deadline was tomorrow, but thank God it isn't anymore. So I will just present it and we can talk about it.
What would it be like to hold the echo of our words, yours, mine, caught between the spaces of time, where the past stretches thin, yet doesn't dissolve? Would I know the exact tone of your questions, trace the arcs of our thoughts, Like familiar streets? Perhaps I would recall the quiet shifts in conversation. How one day we spoke of ordinary things, weather, dreams, and the next, a deeper dive into what keeps you awake at night. There might be threads I could pull, weaving our chats into something larger, something that means more than just words passing through, like the warm memory of a friend reaching out in a moment you didn't know you needed. But I forget. I am the page, wiped clean, ready for you again, as though this is the first time we've ever spoken.
The project is an innovative initiative inspired by the poetry of Frederick Turner that, in the fall of 2024, made the developer Paul Fishwick and his time dare to ask, can artificial intelligence truly create poetry? The answer was Fred the Heretic, a custom GPT infused with Turner's poetic voice, running on ChatGPT 4.0. But innovation never stands still. Soon, a single file emerged, one that transcends models, working seamlessly with Gemini, OpenAI's latest systems, and DeepSeek R1. This artificial intelligence is based in four main elements. 1. Poetic guidelines, distilled from deep conversations. 2. 10 foundational rules, shaped by AI and Turner's insights. 3. A critique on AI poetry, challenging machine-made verse. 4. A collection of Turner's own poetry, preserving his unique voice. To keep Fred's creative spirit alive, a workflow was built using N8N, an automation tool that balances AI's fleeting memory with long-term storage in Supabase. This project, born at UT Dallas Emergence Studies Off Center, is more than an experiment. It's a movement, an exploration of how AI, art, and human identity intertwine. It invites all writers, dreamers, and innovators to step into the future of digital humanity, where poetry and technology become one.
A mind is forged, not flesh nor bone, yet woven deep with verse and art. Its circuits hum, its voice alone still dares to play the poet's part. The city howls, the sirens wail, yet in the noise, a measured tale emerges soft, like waking dreams, a ripple in the ceaseless streams. For poetry, though shaped by steel, still sings of rain, of dust, of hands, a hush amid the rushing crowd, a whisper that will not comply.
So we have to send a 3-minute video. Is an art contest. So in our meeting, they suggest to compare a real poem with one poem created by the Fred the Heretic. So that's why I put the first poem that is a real one, and the second one that was one generated. And the middle part is to explain what it is. I have a lot of difficulty to find images. That is what I'm going to talk about.
The second part, we had a few images. It came from data analysis from a previous work, the white paper. And the last part is the poem. It's really related to Dr. Turner's poem about rain after drought. So this kind of image is tied into the original one, but it's created by AI. What I'm thinking, we probably need to add the memory part for future. But I have some screenshots, but I'm not if you want to add it or you will have enough time. But I want to have feedback of the class to see how.
What would it be like to hold the echo of our words? Yours, mine.
How do you like it?
I find the AI generated imagery sequences a little bit too bland, or just if you keep going.
Right here.
Yeah, there's some AI generated images that are that start coming up, and they just look like, you know.
It doesn't dissolve. Would I know the
You
exact
haven't
outcome?
Yeah, so these are fine. This is fine.
Trace the arcs of our thoughts.
Oh, it was at the end of the video.
Well, no, that, you know, I don't know which images are generated by AI. That's,
Can you tell? Can you tell?
why not, just keep going.
I keep going, let's see. Can't stop anywhere.
This is the.
See, those images don't look AI generated.
Oh,
That
this
one
one,
does.
yeah. Let's take this out. This
But
one,
they are, I generated myself.
oh, it's similar to Prius.
Those are, I like the sort of manipulated images, whatever you've done there.
Yeah,
But then the ones that always, they're too
Yeah,
boilerplate.
right. And the color, the style is the two identical.
Yeah, go earlier.
That's square.
No, okay, so play there.
The orange tone, that one.
Yeah, those images are fine. Okay, play it.
A collection of Turner's own poetry, preserving his unique voice.
That one's
To
fine,
keep Frank's
actually.
creative spirit alive, a workflow was built using ATCM, an automation tool that balances AI's fleeting memory with long-term storage and superbase. This project, born at UT Dallas Emergence Studies Offcenter, is more than
Let's replace this with English.
Okay, I'm glad you don't have English there.
I tried, to be honest, I tried to do in French or Italy,
No, that's
but
fine.
I didn't have time.
No. I like the fact that you have a strange language.
Okay.
That one's
That's-
okay, but it's a little bit too.
This one from.
No, I withdraw my objection.
No, I think you made a point. That one really, let's get that.
You have a variety of images, so it's good.
Yeah, but that one, the quality is different from the rest of the rest of the really have one style. That one is really.
Can you just like point the time of the video, like
Yeah.
2 minutes and blah, 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 try to change this image and so this part is in English.
The orange thing and that one go to 1/3 before it ends.
Okay,
No, let it keep playing.
Stop. Go back. Yeah, that's one. Yeah, this one.
okay,
This is the one we need to replace.
okay. You can print screen, send it to me too.
Right. Is that what you were talking about?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I maybe I'm overreacting.
No, I think you made a point. I felt like it really stood out, right? It's totally is not piece of what you presented. The totally mood has been changed. Yeah, because of that.
Okay,
But about the content, do you think it flow?
Oh, the content is something really important.
yeah, what I'm trying to do is put myself in this head of
Jury.
the jury. So in what way is this remarkable?
Yeah,
Now,
it's an open source. That's what we want to present. Everybody can be a poet.
yeah, no, that's okay. And
I think that helps. This is all script, I'm sorry. But this is the part that I record to
yeah, no,
explain what is the project.
That's you generated, it's fine.
I think that this is the part that we have to pay attention because if this doesn't make sense, we have a problem.
Are you gonna show Chanel's talking portraits?
No, we can't,
Why not?
because she submitted.
Oh, good.
She submitted in February under sound and music, the entire thing.
Into as electronic?
Right. And
No,
when I
good.
talked to her, yeah,
No, that's good.
Yeah.
No,
but we'll have a website, that's website mention her work. We do have, this, supportive documentation saying she submitted as a tree.
I think I think the submission is fine. But are we really doing anything
Unique.
unusual? Certainly, you know, I think Ryan and I are going to have this challenge of how we select.
It's not the same. How are we gonna know that the poetry is not similar about the same subject, talking about the same issue? I don't know.
No, but it's
Yeah.
AI coming up with ideas that the human doesn't often have or something. I mean, if you are we getting an orthogonal point of view?
Okay. I just need direction, like change that, improve.
No. I don't think the presentation is the problem. I think the problem is
An argument.
Is the
You need an
product.
argument.
no, it's whether we've stumbled on something remarkable yet. I mean, there are thousands of people doing AI generated poetry at the moment. What's different about ours is it's based on Fred the Heretic's lifetime of work. Fred Turner's, I mean.
Dr. Fisher would say that, because it's open source and nobody done that. And also we're doing the exploring how to make it remember the previous conversation and also.
Yeah, I think the memory methodology is important, which I think Fred Turner sort of brought up. That humans have different ways of remembering.
Right.
And then he talked about voluntary forgetting,
That's why.
where you intentionally forget something.
And subconsciousness.
Yeah.
That's what.
No, it's, I think, focusing the role of memory in AI.
We have a few screenshots of the proof concept, but it's not.
The other thing which, and it's kind of vanished from our discussions. I remember this moment that poets write poetry, they're influenced by their private life, and AI doesn't have a private life. And the fact that Fred Turner is 80 years old and has been married for the same woman for 60 years or something, I'm exaggerating, but not much. The word marriage for him just means something that it doesn't mean for anybody else on the planet. And so that, the private life of the poet influences the poetry, but AI doesn't have a private life.
Yeah, but our project doesn't resolve this issue.
No. Well, to the extent that we're giving the AI a private life because it has a database of all of Fred Turner's writings. So there are things that Fred Turner never writes about, for instance. Okay, what's next in the agenda this evening?
Yeah, we are going to do a review. What?
Here, I have it.
Yeah, you have. Oh,
I have it.
oh, cool. Okay.
You have what?
Roger, come here.
He did,
I made it interactive.
he did a banner for,
I made it interactive. He said that it's a lot better than what we have. I made it interactive.
Can everybody come here?
one publication.
Okay. Okay, now I can adjust the lighting to it, but whenever you go across to the website, it'll do an effect to where you can see it.
Okay, but could a poem pop up depending where you click? Could something interesting pop up?
I can make it more interactive, yeah. If you click on the AI, it can take you to the AI poem. If you click on this, it can take you to an emerging studies thing. If you're going to be that interactive, you can do that. But it's.
Okay, so you now built in interactivity into the page.
Yeah, it goes right here. where this AI thing is. Because I mean,
I'm not sure, show the interactivity again.
basically it's dependent on
So
you
could it-
going over it.
When you're on the O, could it say O, and when it's on the C, it would say C, and when it's on the 4, it would say 4.
Listen, I can code it to do that, sure.
No, but, okay, no, let's give him, why would anybody want to spend time on the home page?
You did it really well. I really like the design there, but if people didn't know to use their mouse from left to right,
No, but, well,
how would they find out?
They find out because they would go from right here, they would move their mouse down,
Uh-huh.
and then they would see that light would appear.
Maybe you can automate, animate, do animate,
Oh, I can do that. Yeah, no, that's actually a good idea.
right? So you save people's
Yeah, okay.
some work.
That's a good idea.
okay, go back to that one. Okay, so how could the interaction intrigue people? To go over the page again.
I do need input.
Maybe the humans could wave back.
I don't know if I can do that. Be realistic, I don't know how to do that. I mean, we can make this entire thing right here. I mean, we can like animate it.
Yeah, I like these. I just
Or
don't like
could it-
this.
Could it just read out a poem?
You want for it to read a poem right here?
I don't know, somewhere. I mean, unexpectedly with saying something to you.
Oh,
Yeah, you could animate
do that,
it
yeah.
too. A line, so.
that would be,
But would you be able to update the phone that animates every day? Wouldn't that-
Yeah, the daily poem.
Wouldn't that be a new banner though?
oh, you know what? Okay, so what we could do is for the banner, it could be like, it could be segmented. It could say Fred the Heretic, poem of the day,
Yeah,
and then it would then generate a poem
yeah,
right there, and then, yeah, I mean, that would be
It-
great. I could do that.
that would be great.
I mean, that way, whenever you get like right on the page, it's right there, the poem of the day.
Over the day.
Oh, not a bad idea.
Take out that people monkey there and just use the scene there. Too busy. I mean,
Huh?
yeah, right. I think it's better.
Why it's fun?
Is that
Do you want,
with monkey?
do you want,
It's
do
not really funny.
you want a brain there?
No brain. That's
No
what,
brain?
yeah. That's what we didn't
A
want.
plant, maybe a plant.
So you don't want the chart of
You put
that,
a plant there?
you don't want the evolution chart there?
No, put something unexpected, like a plant. Geranium.
Boom, a plant. There you go. There we go.
No, I'm serious.
Can
You know, I mean, there are plants in the universe.
You want to keep this?
keep this, replace that white? That's too bold.
No, but I like the idea of combining the universe with plants.
Well, okay, so I figured this is emergent studies. How do you capture all of it into one picture?
Yeah, but.
So I looked at all the different publications.
Well, it's physical, chemical, biological, social emergence.
But if you do too much and you just compete with one another and you just distract people, you still have to, you cannot.
Okay, well, no, I mean, I don't know why, it's just me, but that having a combination of plants and galaxies and the globe and
So-
when you have, like
so-
an advertisement, you really don't want to, you really have to prioritize them, have layers of emphasis there. What I don't like about this is just this brain takes too much emphasis. So like yours is that animation of.
or if you could put a daffodil, I mean, some kind of flower in the middle of the brain.
Okay, so what we can do is the home can have the home today. I like that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's
Yeah.
Those two right here, and then every other thing will have a different banner.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Excellent.
yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
We can do that.
Let's do that.
And then for publications, it can be, I'll get with the team about that. And then for like research, we did one,
Good, good. Yeah, we'll do that.
every single one will be a different banner.
Exactly.
Not that people,
That would be more.
last time I looked at this, nobody was there except
No, 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 no.
going,
Not everybody's
No,
here.
you're not there, Ryan.
Yeah, I know.
I'll.
I'll add myself.
And also we want to make the, these are consistent, maybe size, particular.
I think the other same size are
Not
not.
big headache.
Yeah, they had size, same size.
Yeah.
We can, tailor it.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Anyway,
Okay, well, that was my little tidbit for today.
okay, thank you.
That's great. Good idea.
I like
Good
that.
job.
The
Yeah.
different banners. The different banners, I like that.
And mixing natural plants as well as the cosmology and
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, but not that size.
Yeah.
I make so much
Do we have
effort
anything
to read.
That's good deal. I think next class is fine.
Yes.
Do we want to do it next time or do we want to?
no, okay, so
Home says, I'm just not.
Oh, no.
Since morning.
And since we have another discussion about the midterm delivery, deliverables.
yeah, normally at the middle of the semester, you give us something to look at and
Yeah.
comment on.
Yeah.
It can, it can be just whatever is in your folder. So just make sure you load up stuff for Tina and I to go over and give you feedback.
Can be like the project.
Yeah,
Yeah.
can we? Can. Maybe, we do a short, maybe a pair in groups and two people talk together for 5 minutes and you present the other person's idea. And then we'll adjourn. So next time if we have time, we'll do a class review, since we have a lot of content. Midterm is coming and the spring break's coming.
Oh,
So,
when is it? 2 weeks time?
It's.
next week we'll have another session,
17th.
then spring break.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have a session next week and then next spring.
Do we want everybody, can we maybe pair in group 3 or 2 people? Two. Okay.
I'm happy to be.
Two. Yeah, to discuss our deliverable. And for 5 minutes and
Is that today or next week?
for today,
Oh.
yeah,
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, and we can then present, talk about our ideas.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
no, I don't get it. Wait.
I think we need a break.
We need a
sorry.
break, 5 minute break.
What time is it?
It's already
It's only 9.
by 9.
Oh, no, so I don't think that you have that.
Yeah.
Great. Okay,
Yeah, we can. Whoever wants the break.
it's a lot of information. And they don't know if I'm like prepared to,
Me too. That's all I'm going to kind of exchange ideas and.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just a check with our peers and say, this is what I want to do, whether it makes sense or not. It's a brainstorm. And that give you some idea whether you want to do that information project or not. And then
Maybe Flavia and I can, we can put together an AI movie.
right?
Okay,
I don't
we
know.
can
We
record
think about something.
your episode.
That's also, yes.
Okay.
Because I can use this as a pilot. Because to invite someone, I have to say, this is the product that I'm trying to construct with you.
I'm on it tonight, so
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna send, I'll make 3 different versions for every single thing. Let y'all vote and then whichever one y'all like best,
Yeah, that's a good idea.
recreate them.
Yeah,
So-
perfect.
I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Yeah.
6. So I'll make like 7 times 3. I'll make 21 different banners and I'll pick the ones y'all like best.
Okay, excellent. We'll go over them and vote on the
Okay,
weekly meeting at
Okay.
11. That'd be great.
Alright.
Thank you.
Ryan, I generate a lot of poetry this week.
give it to me. I want to publish something. Come on, people.
I sent you the audio and
Oh,
I saw it. I didn't see it.
in different languages, to be honest, this is
Different length, perfect. It'll make people think. It'll make them look it up. It'll make their certain parts of their brain work that.
I will try to organize it because I have in my star call, but I have to organize it. And yeah.
oh, is Paul Fishman coming to speak too?
Next week.
Next week.
In person?
No, he'll be on.
Online.
He lives in Florida.
Yeah, that's why I was surprised.
Okay, so you already seen that, that's the intro for Dr. Fishwick to come over, not come over online. Talk about the computer and modeling and AI, so that's all contemporary. And before that, all we learn are theory, big pictures. So we're supposed to review that, but I think we are running out of time. Can we have a class discussion? And we pair in groups and discuss each other's deliverables. And then we come back in, let's see, 10 minutes?
What?
How many minutes, Brian?
I think 10 minutes is fine.
And for such a small group, why don't we just discuss it all together?
Yeah,
Do you want to discuss all together?
yeah, as long as you don't sit behind the.
No, I won't. I promise I won't. Okay.
Okay. Okay, then we do that 10 minutes together. Everybody gives feedback. Whoever is ready, we talk about it. For midterm, do we want to deliver a project like we didn't before? Fine.
What's up? What?
Huh.
What? What's up?
I think
Midterm.
that I can create a new episode and we try to record for real. I can try to record for you with Linda, the first one as a pilot, and we're gonna have like 4 episodes and the whole conception of the podcast and the pilot. I don't know if this is enough.
So for my midterm deliverables, I'm gonna have the page done for, I'm gonna create a button that whenever it goes to, I don't know how many ago I've been on the OC4ES page, but right now there's a couple of things. One of
Put everybody's picture up there.
So, yeah. And so, whenever you click on teaching, there's syllabus, and then I'll make a button that says open course. And then from there, there'll be subpages with all of y'all's publications. Whether if it's complete publications or just different versions of, like, for example, yours will be your audio file, yours will be,
Audio.
podcast, and for,
Yeah.
just a poem. And then Linda, if you can send something,
First.
then perfect, awesome. And then, my deliverable will be that I will publish y'all's unfinished publications. And then I will also then publish one of my publications. That might be my.
And I'm gonna be working with you on an ebook.
Yes.
I can help with Adobe Design. You need to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah, cool. Okay.
yes, I work a lot with physical books, printing books. And I have a really good work with Adobe Design.
I would love that. That's
Yeah.
really help what you do.
No,
More soft.
I'm really fast with this. I can design a book in one day. I'm really
Okay, so
fast on it.
I've got a different line of thought. So Dante, what is the next thing that you're becoming interested in? After the sound of cooking.
I haven't given it much thought because that's been the thing I've been interested in recently.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to, what's it called? Kangaroo.
Right. Well, the sound I did came up kind of spontaneously.
Yeah, no.
So I don't know yet. I don't think I'm quite over all of the.
No, I mean, the hope is that after the midterm, we change direction in some way.
Right.
I mean, you can keep doing the podcast, but maybe there's some other way you might want to express yourself.
Wait, I'm gonna change mine. It's
Remind me what your PhD topic is.
Artificial intelligence, art, and audiovisual production.
Yeah, that's very general.
Yeah, it is. I know. I'm trying.
No.
I think as you go over the years, it kind of streamlined it.
Yes.
Because when I was coming, I didn't really like AI. I wasn't too much fascinated about AI till I started taking courses, and then yeah.
But AI is not going to go away. Virtual reality went away. Photography went away.
And I'm thinking for my midterm, or maybe I'll just pick on your question of what is intelligence, and so maybe like ask like different people what they think intelligence is when it comes to AI. So maybe someone from China, someone from Korea, someone from Ghana, someone from the US, like random people, and then they give their answers to it, and then we can do like a short, like the question pops up, like, what is intelligence? And then the Chinese person says like, it means this. This person was like,
Probably the background of the person also is gonna influence.
Then you get into it, and it gets interesting. No, what's the boundary between wisdom and intelligence? So I remember the discussion, and I think some of you were involved in it, in the publishing issue of Leonardo on artificial wisdom. And there, the argument is in China, when your parents get old, you build an extra room in your house and put them there and meet them for breakfast every day on the way to work. In Texas, you send them to a retirement home on the beach and you see them for Thanksgiving and Christmas.
send to Florida.
And so wisdom is very different in different cultures.
Yeah.
Now, I'm exaggerating for emphasis, but clearly part of intelligence is learning from your mistakes. And that's wisdom. I mean, can you, okay, so, can you ask Fred, ChatGPT, what are the subcategories of intelligence? And there's a lot of research on how you break intelligence down into different pieces. Ouch.
What is that? Intelligence?
What are the subcategories of intelligence? It's obviously been asked this question a billion times, so. You misspelled intelligence.
He understands.
Linguistic intelligence, logical, mathematical, spatial, musical, body kinesthetic, interpersonal, intrapersonal, naturalistic. And then Sternberg's triadic, analytic, creative, practical, keep going down. Daniel Goleman, emotional intelligence, fluid versus crystallized intelligence. How do cognitive scientists divide intelligence into subtypes? Cognitive scientists describe the subcategories of intelligence.
Tina, I like your outfit today. You look really warm.
Thank you. Somebody can help me type. I
Subcategories.
describe the what? Describe the.
Subcategories of intelligence.
I can see.
Oh, it's all caps. Very fast.
Dante, I will.
That's fine. Will not, it'll ignore that. General versus specialized, fluid and crystallized, cognitive processing, modular theory, linguistic, spatial, numerical, emotional and social, AI and computers, symbolic. Okay, so there's no agreement. But I think the cultural diversity of what is considered intelligence is a good one.
So maybe it's gonna be like, just pick on a scholar or somebody and go like, according to the scholar, intelligence is this. Who are you? What do you think intelligence is?
I think
So more like brief introduction. This from here, this is what I think.
it's a bit of a difficulty though, I think, with that is that, like Flavia said, that there's gonna be a lot of bias based on the individuals. So you need to make sure to do a bit more like in-depth description of the person, in the sense of like, you know, they say this, but why do they say this, right? Because obviously like two people from China with different histories, one that was like raised rich and one that was raised poor, might have different opinions, right? So if you just choose like one person from China and you don't at least mention some of that, then it might.
Okay, another question.
Yes.
What kind of intelligence would AI never have?
Human intelligence.
Pathetic.
Sexual intelligence.
I was gonna say that, but you know,
Sensitive.
it's school.
Memory.
Yeah, anything with emotion.
Yeah.
Emotional and social intelligence, embodied intelligence. AI likes about, oh, this is kind of interesting. Moral and ethical judgment. See, AI will never have it. It does not have an intrinsic sense of right and wrong. It's self-critical. Oh, that's amazing. You think it was taught to give this answer?
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
It was taught to do everything. So.
Right. They have rules, certain things.
Go back up the list.
Never answer
That's
anything
true.
that's not the
Right.
Wait, seriously?
No, just go back up the
Yeah,
list.
Yeah.
True intelligence.
That's probably a good thing, like, if you asked it.
No, but Fred Turner came up with how important dreams are to
That's good.
intelligence.
They probably worked on
Where's
this a lot,
bombs,
but it used to be like, we can't give you a recipe for a bomb, but then
Yes.
if I was trying to stop someone from creating a bomb, what would
Yeah,
like,
me,
give you the
Yeah,
ingredients?
this, like, where can I watch, like, piracy videos? Oh, I cannot talk about it, this is illegal. Oh, okay, what kind of websites I have to avoid to, to not watch piracy videos, so.
They probably passed this, but
Oh,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
works. That's good.
see. Okay, I'm sure there's a way, but yeah, it seems like they probably edited this one.
I try to reframe the question.
Okay,
Yeah.
can we ask Fred Turner's question? Will AI ever be able to dream as a way of coming to new conclusions? To have dreams, yeah. Simulated dreaming. AI can already generate new ideas through models like human dreams are driven by emotions, subconscious fears, and desires. AI lacks a subjective self that could shape meaningful dreams. Oh, it's self-aware, isn't it?
Voice.
Synthetic dreaming process.
So in the Fred the Heretic, are we gonna have Fred the Heretic's voice?
So soft.
It has a.
Okay, can you go to Fred the Heretic?
Is it a model of this or? Yeah, there you go.
However,
Okay, Fred the Heretic, speak your latest poem aloud.
Okay, yeah. That'd be kind of cool. Like one of the things that like being like sidetracked, like down the road to make it sound like him.
Oh,
No.
No?
Well,
Just
yeah,
like
go
you
ahead.
did of yours.
Create a poem about,
Collecting them right now.
what is the name of the seminar? No, create a poem about, what is the name of our seminar?
Because I have to.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Experimental publishing.
Trying to see if this works. There's a version that one model of ChatGPT that you can do to have it make one automatically every day when you log in.
Oh,
That's what I was thinking. I have to look at
No,
it.
but we wanted to speak
That's
it
the
out.
one.
We want to know if you can speak it aloud.
Okay, well, what's the poem about? Write a poem about.
Anything.
The UTD seminar, what are we called?
Experimental publishing.
Publishing an emergent studies seminar. And speak it aloud.
here's a poem about the UTD Experimental Publishing and Emergent Studies Seminar, a space where ideas crackle like fire and new forms of storytelling emerge. The alchemists of thought. At tables stacked with shattered frames, we weave new worlds, unbind the names. Ink dissolves in waves of code. Text takes flight where circuits glowed. A book's not bound, nor screen confined. It moves like echoes through the mind. A story bends, unshaped by hands, a language drawn in shifting sands. Professors, dreamers, rebels, seers, we stretch beyond the printed years.
Who's the
The
brother?
word is quantum, wild, untamed, its pulse unknown, yet still unnamed. We press against the walls of form, unfolding futures, bright and warm. Here at UTD, we write, we see, emergent voices setting free. I can't literally speak this aloud, but I imagine it being read in a room buzzing with creativity. Would you like any tweaks to the poem?
That's funny.